It's good. Nowadays, people live much longer than they used to. So it is inevitable that people have to deal with the issue of going on pension. And more and more does research indicate people go for a second career. What's your take on that?
Well, first of all, I mean, there clearly is a pragmatic or practical issue around having to have a second career. Because people realize that their life expectancy is now extended beyond what the provision they made could account for. So you've kind of been putting in money to a pension or whatever, and you retire at 60 or 63, and you work it out, and you say, well, my money's only going to last until I'm 73, and then but I'm more than likely going to live beyond that. So that's a first key issue that I think gets people, it's a security concern, gets people back into the market, after retirement. But over and beyond that, I mean, there's this immense desire of people to stay useful to others, and this idea that I get bored if I'm sitting on my own, or I don't want to just kind of just listen to the grass grow. And I think that is a flaw in our culture, because it is almost as if people think the only legitimate work and the only legitimate endeavor is external, outward endeavor in the world. I've got to make a contribution, otherwise I'm not a worthwhile human being. But actually, obsolescence, being socially obsolete, is a correct and natural part of our condition. There's a point at which we no longer should be socially useful to the same degree. I mean, it's different if you have a part-time job or whatever, just to keep body and soul together. But this idea that you still have to be making a contribution into your dotage, I think is false. And the tragedy of this is that it stops people from pursuing a new endeavor. And that is an inner endeavor, an inner work. There's two realms for endeavor. There's outward endeavor, there's endeavor in the world, which is where you do your work. But then there's a very legitimate inner endeavor, which is about the development of one's consciousness and the development of one's ability to perceive. Our decrepitude is precisely a condition that enables the second kind of endeavor. And it should be seen as a legitimate endeavor. And it's precisely because it's not seen as a legitimate endeavor that people continue sort of staying on the hamster wheel, because it's not, and I mean, it's one thing if they can't get off it or need to stay on it to some degree to kind of feed themselves, but it's an entirely different thing if they stay on it because out of a compulsive need to be useful to others. We've got two engagements with the world. The one is with other people, and the other is with the rest of the universe, the totality of the other. The highest parts of ourselves are actually about our engagement with the totality of the other. And that is really about learning how to perceive properly rather than learning how to do things that are useful to other human beings.
Okay.
And when we're so busy in the marketplace, then we don't start working on that second endeavor. The endeavor of an inner life. The ancient Hindus had this taped. I mean, they said that there was a period in your life where you were a child. There was a period in your life where you were kind of like a student. There's a period in your life where you were a householder. And then there was a period of your life where you literally you became a sannyasi, and you withdrew into the forests. You became a non-social being. And this growing into the forest, it is quite consistent with doing that men stopped wearing clothes. They literally went feral. In our society, there isn't this comfortableness with the idea of somebody opting out, of going feral. Like the ancient Hindus had. This ancient feral, ancient sort of understanding that you've got to allow people to opt out of the social project is not retrogressive. It's deeply progressive because it enables people to explore higher reaches of their consciousness that have to be cauterized for them to stay socially useful.
Mm-hmm.